Good morning, Engineering 2. Woo. So, what I'm planning to do today is actually do a couple of examples that I'm going to hope that it's going to help you do homework number 6 and 8. And then most likely, if I got time today, in the lab, we'll also do homework number 5 together. Okay. So the first thing, I think that's all the announcements. I don't think I have any other announcements. The first thing that I want to do is start my program, AutoCAD. And while this guy is opening, let's read the assignment number 5. So you are going to open a file, and I want to tell you where this file is at. It's not actually in this H drive. This H drive doesn't have nothing. I want to tell you where to find it. You are going to create a half scale A size. A size stands for 8.5 by 11. So let's put a little text note. The size of the piece of paper, if you were to print it, would be 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11. Half size means you are going to reduce the original size, and you're actually going to shrink it. So, and you're going to shrink it by the factor of 0.5, so half of the size. So 1 to 2, we should probably make this text slightly bigger so you guys could see it. It's probably you cannot see it through some of you guys probably are using your phone, so might not be able to see it. Let's make that like the default size. Can I match this? There's not a match. Oh yeah, there's a match properties right there. Match to that. There we go. I'll make this guy the default. Set this as default. Yes. Please note each block in the both isometric drawings represents 1 inch. I'm gonna do something similar. Not this example, but something similar. The drawing must be printed using the HJDC engineering title block, which I'm gonna tell you where that is. You are gonna be using the front, the top, and the right side views, and center them on the sheet evenly. For your text, you are gonna be using 1/8, and the type of text is gonna be Roman S. You are going to fill up the title block, and the title block is going to ask you for your part name, the scale, the date, who drew it. You are going to put sheet 101 and also the assignment number. This one is homework number 5, so you get to put homework number 5. All objects lines should be object line layer. We'll talk about what are layers. All hidden lines should be hidden lines, hidden line layer. You also need to create one layer for the text layer. And then it's telling me it's to me like it's giving me instruction on what to draw. Draw the part and blah, 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 blah. Let's not go over there. Let's actually get an example. Okay. I just wanted to read what is actually overall instructions, let's call it. Step number 1, let's go to your Dropbox and let's find out a couple of files that you guys will need. So let me see. I also believe I created a folder which I call it Engineering 2 Working. So let me come over here and look for Engineering 2 Working. So coursework, the student folder, Engineering 2. This is where all your files are at in your shared folder. And in there, you guys have your labs. And in there, you guys should have a folder that says border and model templates. Boom. Let's open that guy up. As soon as you open that guy up, you will see the first folder that says AutoCAD template and pen settings. I want to open this guy. In fact, I want to go to my flash drive or create a folder in your desktop. And I want to rename this. And I'm going to call it homework 05 practice. So this is another thing, homework 05. We want to do homework 05. We want to do kind of like the same concept, but just kind of like give you an idea of how you will do your work. So again, you copy these files, you put it in that folder, and then at this file that is called Engineering 02 CAD file, you are going to rename it. And in my case, I'm going to rename it homework 05 practice. This way you want to give it as is. So let me go and open this guy, homework 05 practice, and let's talk about it. See what it. And again, I just copy the template and I rename it, and now it's called practice. Let's take a look at this. So as soon as I open it, it will have certain things that I don't like, so I need to get rid of it. First thing is I see that it has this grid, so I want to deselect it because I don't like to see that grid in the background. And I also want to make sure that you guys could see it from either you guys watch the recording or not watch it, or maybe you are right here. You need to be able to see the line weight, so I'm going to increase the line weight so you guys could see it better. Okay, now you should be able to see it. I'm going to save this, Control S to save, do not forget. Okay, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to actually walk you through this AutoCAD file that I just opened. You guys will notice that I have a model space. It's model, it says model. So there is a model space and a paper space. Whatever you did before is in the model space. Okay, and again, I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about what is the model and paper space most likely during the lab time. But right now, just think everything that you guys get to draw is going to be on the model space, and anything that you need to print, once you are going to print, you are going to go to this A size, because remember they asked you for an A size. So you're going to click on the A size, and then you're going to print from here. Okay, so let me go back to the model, and let's do an example, right? You just click on the tab and it takes you to the model. I am going to do the example that I have here. So let's go and let's do an easy one. Let's do the first one. Okay, so again, kind of like the same concept as the one before, but this one, it seems to me that, and actually I want to make a hole. Do you think this one's have a hole? Maybe we can use, no, none of them have a hole. Okay, so I want to make a hole, just kind of like make up a hole. And I want to say that that hole, the diameter of it, it is 1.5 squares diameter, right? It's only like that, 1.5 squares. Right, at that point of time, I can go and I can start working on this AutoCAD. Let me see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to start by first coming up with the size of my box. So it seems to me like my box, it's already there. Let me come over here, get the shape of my box. I want to make it yellow. If I go here to the AutoCAD, the command that you guys want to remember is the command layer. So I'm going to come back here, get a piece of paper, grab your paper, and the command is LA, and it stands for layer. Okay, so keep it there. Okay, layer is something that you get to. You can create a layer for a line, for a tree, for a car, for a wall, anything that you want to represent with a color and with certain settings. So we kind of like subdivide things for you. So I'm gonna go create a layer, LA for layer, LA spacebar. When you click LA spacebar, it will take you to this one. And remember, I copied the template, so I already have a couple of things in there. I usually like to have a new layer, and that layer, you click a new layer by creating to this label. And in the layer, I usually like to call it construction layer, right? Kind of like when you did your sketches by hand, I like to have one as well. And I usually like to have its color like a grayish looking, like either 8 or 9. I want to give it an 8 so you guys can see it. Let's do 8. Yeah, no, let's do 9. Let's do 9. Okay, color 9. So you just click in the color and then you say, oh, done. So, and again, I want to double click on it because I want to make it active. So you make it active. All right, so now that I have the layer that I constructed, I could actually start creating my boxes. So let's go back to my boxes. So my boxes, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 by 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 8 by 5. So I want to make a line in the L spacebar. Where do I want to start? 0, 0, right? That's the coordinate. It will take me somewhere here at that 0, 0. This is the cheat sheet way. You're going to type the F8 button in your keyboard. Right on the top, you have F1, F2, F3. Click on F8. As soon as you do that, it will allow you to make lines that are straight. Okay? So it will make it easy. I don't have to be coordinates. So I'm going to type 8. That's it. That's all I got to do. And type the spacebar. Boom. As soon as you do that, it will make a line straight. So that is 8 units to the right. I want to go upwards. And if I recall correctly, it was 5. I'm going to type 5. And then I'm going to click spacebar. And then I'm going to go to the right. 8. Spacebar. Go down. 5. Spacebar. Boom. That is my box. Type spacebar or escape to get out of the command. Okay. I don't want that one. I want this one. So it was 2, 4, 6, 8 by 2, 4, 5, right? And then I got this guy going on, which says to me is 4 in depth. So I'm going to space my views, and I think my views, I'm going to space it for about 5 units. The command that I want to now write is the command is called offset. So you get your piece of paper and you write offset, right? This guy creates a layer. This guy offsets, like our line here. You want to put it right next to it. Okay. So all for offset. And then I will tell you, hey, what is the distance you want to offset? You're going to read the command line. In my case, I'm going to do 5 for offset. That's the distance that I want to offset the line. And then I want to tap spacebar. It's going to tell me select the object. So I'm going to select this object. And I'm going to move to the side. And I will want to create a kind of like a phantom line of what it's going to do. And I will create it. I'm going to click on the next one. And then I'm going to push it back. And I will create the line as well. At this point of time, I needed to get the depth of my part. And remember, the reason why I need the depth of my part is because if you guys look at your box, top, front, side, the depth of the part is here, and here. Already got these lines. Oops. Let me see if I can move my camera slightly. And then maybe I should probably turn on the light so you guys can see a little better. Turn on the light. Maybe turn on the flash. Again, this is my box. This is from my side view. I created the front view box. I did an offset of 5 units to create this line and this line. The next thing I want to do is I want to get the depth. This is the depth. This is the depth. This is the depth. Right. So this line is also the depth. So that's what I'm trying to do. And the depth, if I recall correctly, I need to go back to my. So it is 4. So I'm gonna do offset of 4. So I'm gonna skip 4 for offset. 4 units this time and a spacebar. I'm gonna click and click and click, click and click. So now I got my depth. I just need to fill up the rest of it using my my lines. So the command for line is L for line, L spacebar. It's asking me where do you want to start. I don't want to actually give a coordinate. I just want to tell it where to start. So I want to start in there, and I should have a little snap point. From here to there, the spacebar. The spacebar again to start the command. From here to there, a spacebar. A spacebar allows you to terminate the command, and if you place a spacebar, repeat the same command. So spacebar. From here to there, spacebar, spacebar. From here to there. Escape, right? Okay, so now I got all of this here. The next thing that I want to do is I want to get the front of it. So let me see, let's do blue. So I want this from view to be able to be in the drawing. And you guys, what we have been using the construction lines. And what we're gonna start actually using now, after I have the boxes, I need to have a different layer for my visible lines. That's why there is a layer for it. So I'm gonna look for the layer. And if you go to the Home tab, there is a layer object. So think about object like my visible line. Okay. So if I go here, I gotta move 2, 4, 5, and 3. So I'm gonna make a line. I'm gonna go click, and I'm gonna move to the right, 5, and then I'm gonna move up, 3. And remember, the reason why I can do this is because I have my ortho on. If I want to have an ortho, how do I calculate ortho? Is with F8. By the way, I probably should write that too. F8 is for ortho. And ortho is horizontal and vertical lines. Boom, the cheat sheet. Okay, so let me continue. So I was, actually it was 2, it was not. I did it 2, but let's get rid of this one. Let's make a line. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna move upwards and I'm gonna click 2. Then I'm gonna move back, and it says to me I wanna move back to the left by 2. I'm just gonna move my cursor towards the left by 2, spacebar, and then I'm gonna move upwards, then back, and then back. Boom. Escape bar. If you guys look at this, it seems to me that I also have another little square, the blue, that I actually need to be able to get edges as well. So I'm gonna make a line, L, spacebar. I'm gonna click right here. I'm gonna move towards the right, and I should be able to see like a little L. If you do not see the L, it's because you don't have your OSNAP settings on. How do you activate it? You type Shift and the right side button on your mouse at the same time. So hold Shift and then put the right side button. I will take you here and will give you a bunch of OSNAPs. You want to make sure you want to this OSNAP 7. You can actually go just perpendicular, but in my case, I want to make sure that you guys have it activated. You click on the OSNAP settings. In the OSNAP settings, you will see this guy, Object OSNAP On. You want to make sure that you have it on. You can deactivate it with F3. And I would like you guys to kind of follow the same pattern that I have. Endpoint, midpoint, centers, nodes, quadrants, intersections, and perpendicular. You should have all of these on. So I'm going to say, okay, after you have it. And then at this point in time, you should be able to see that L. And then you just go back. And then you just go back. Boom. Okay. So you are done with my front view. At this point in time, I can go and I can do my top view. Change my color for my top view. Let's do it. Let's do it orange. So my orange, I will see this guy as orange, and I will see this, and I also will have my hole, right? I also have to take care of it. In terms of the hidden lines, we'll do them at the end. Okay, so don't worry about the hidden lines yet. So it seems to me like if I were to look from the top, I have a box that is 3 inches in width. So I'm gonna go focus on the top. I'm gonna make line. I'm gonna come over here. Make sure I have my ortho on with F8. I'm going to click 3. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to click and click and click. Let's go back. Let's see what else I need to do. It seems to me that also I have a box that is moving 3 to the right. So I'm going to move here. So line. Come over here. Come over there. And then I have to go down by 2 units. And then I got to move 3 by 3 units, and then I want to go down, and then I want to go back. Boom. I am done with my top view. Woo. Let's go back. So By the way, if you are wondering how I did switching between screens super quick, the way you do it is by pressing on the Alt and the Tab. Alt, Tab. But the way I should probably talk. And here you should try most likely Shift, Shift plus, right, hand, wheel, button, button. This guy will give you access to the OSNAP settings. The OSNAPs and the OSNAP settings, okay? Let's go on the Alt tab, you go Alt plus Tab. This guy will allow you to flip between screens. Flip between programs, let's call it. In programs. So I go here, I have my PDF editor. If I go Alt Tab, it will take me back to the previous program that I had open. So it seems to me I had the camera, that's why. So if I go to the AutoCAD and then I go to the PDF, I should be able to go Alt Tab and go between AutoCAD and PDF back and forth. Super quick. Okay, I'm missing one more view. Let's go back to the view and we'll take care of the whole at the later. Let's call it after I finish with my view. So let's go different color. Let's say that now I want maybe a pink. So this is what I will look when I look at the whole. Pink, 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 pink. You see to me that I have two squares that are 2 by 2 and then the whole big old square on the top. So when I make a line, I'm going to move up by 2. I'm going to move the right by 2, down by 2, go back, and then another square from here to there, to there, to there, and another from here to there, to there. And again, you have your square. That's why it's so easy to come up with this. Okay. Next, I need to be able to put a hole. So how do I put a hole? Okay, so I could actually do the math and say, okay, this is 0,0, bam, bam, bam. But instead of me doing that, you see this is where my 0,0 is at. This is called the UCS, Universal Coordinate System. But I can move my origin. That guy here is 0,0, but I can move my origin to 0,0 right there. I will make things much, much easier. Actually, you know, there is an easier way for me to put it on the center. The easier way to do it on the center is make a line. There is diagonal like that, and then make a circle right here, which I believe the diameter, D4 diameter, or 1.5, will also allow you to make the hole. Let me show you another way. If you go and you move your UCS, and again the command for the UCS is UCS. So you can grab your piece of paper, you can write UCS. And the command for this is Universal Coordinate System. Right? It's kind of like your origin. Let's call it your 0,0,0, where that is. Okay. So the only thing you have to do is type UCS, then you type spacebar, and then you just click wherever you want to put it, and then you type enter, and then I should move it. As simple as that. And now my 0,0 is right here. So if I were to try to make a line, and the line moves out 1.5 by 2, to create the center, line 1.5, 2 is looking at the 0,0, which is the one that I just moved, right? I moved my 0,0. You notice that what kind of finds the center of the hole. And again, I did it differently because I did a diagonal line and then I did the hole in the middle. But you can easily go and make a circle of 1.5, 2, circle located at 1.5, 2, and it will be the same concept, right? I just show you a different way of doing it. Good idea to go and have your UCS wherever you want. If you want to return your UCS back, you type UCS and you type W. W will push it back. UCS spacebar, W spacebar. So let's put W here maybe. If you got UCS and you type W, it puts it back on where it was. Boom. All right. What else? We got a couple of hidden lines. We actually take care of it. We gotta take care of them. So how do I get the hidden lines? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back with my construction lines, and I am going to kind of project everything. So project that guy. I'm going to project it there. Project that guy. Project that one right there. Oops. Make sure it's perpendicular. And then I got another line that's going to represent the center. And that is where my hole lives in the side view. These are construction lines, so I need to change it by going to the Home tab in the layers and change it to hidden lines. Now, if I make a line, it will have the hidden line properties, and it will push it right in front of it. Now, you guys will see it that it's all yellow. I cannot see yellow in my screen because I have white as background, so I need to change the color to red. In your case, you do not do it because you will be able to see it. my case, I'm just going to do it because I want to be able to show you how things look. So I'm going to change the layer. I want to go back to LA, and my hidden line, I'm going to change the color to red. I think red you guys should be able to see from your screen, right? I just went to LA, spacebar, change the color, and then I close this guy. And if I do that, you guys will notice that the property of that layer have changed in another red. I can move and make another line. I can go from here to there. Okay. And I can make another line, but this guy is going to be my center line. So I'm going to go, oops, I need to also change the color of center line. So LA for layer, and I'm going to go look for center line, and I am going to change this color to red. So red, move, and boom. And then I will change the color. So when I go and I make any center lines, it will look like a center line, and it's going to be red. It's going red. And then I'm going to make a line. Now it knows that the layer that you're using is going to be having those properties, and it's going to look just like a center line. L spacebar. Okay. I need to start a little bit past the that midpoint of that line. So I'm going to move slightly upwards till I see a couple of dots. And then I'm going to click. And then I'm going to pass a little bit after my part. I'm going to click. And that one is a center line. Okay. If you guys believe that your center lines are too close, maybe you can also change that spacing. The command for that is line type scale. So again, this is a command. The next command is LTS, line type scale. So it will go and it will look at the spacing. Let's call this guy line space. What line space? It will just go and then kind of like separate these guys. So the regular will go LTS, line type scale. Right now it's at 1. If I want to make it a little bit more separate, I make a number bigger than 1. So let's say 1.5. Guys, I want to hope that you guys saw the difference of the change. You can continue going and make more changes, maybe 2. You see, I will separate it slightly more. If you have a number that is less than 1, it will make them really close together. Right? We'll continue making them close together. Okay. What about this hole? What do I do with this hole? Well, that hole needs to have the center marks. There is a command for these center marks, but before I can do it, I actually need to update. Through a command that is called dimension styles. So let's go back here and tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to my notes, and the command is D for dimension style, and then you are going to modify it. And then let me see what else you gotta do. D for dimension style. So D spacebar. Then you are going to go to maybe you can modify the standard. You can go to the standard. So standard. It's right over here. Standard. And then you're gonna modify it. Modify. Thinking. Until my computer froze. There we go. Finally. Then you guys are gonna go to symbols and arrows, and you're gonna make sure it has a line in there. So you go to symbols and arrows, so standard, modify, symbols, and arrows tab, and then you are gonna make sure that the center marks have a line icon. So center marks has a line activated. So check mark, right? And that should allow you to get your center marks. Okay, first that setting, you need to make sure you have it. And then also you need to make sure you have a current. So make sure you gotta click it and you gotta set a current. And then say close. So don't forget, set current. Boom. At this point in time, I can now create my center marks. Command is DCE, dimension center line. I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna, I need to make sure that I have dimensions. We're gonna do this with dimensions. And then I think I'm gonna click in this guy. So DCE, and then you click. And again, it's yellow, so I need to change it. You guys don't have to change it because you'll be able to see yellow. In my case, I will not be able to see yellow. So I need to change it to red. Move. Okay, let's write that DCE also, just in case. So DCE is center line, center mark. Okay, we are almost there. It seems to me like I have another hole. It seems to me based on my sketch that I just made up, it goes to the whole part, and it's right at the center. So the way I'm going to do it, put it on the other side, I could actually redraw the whole thing, but I don't want to. What I want to do is I want to copy it. If you guys would think, what is the command for copy? Well, as you say it, copy, you just type copy. Or you can come over here and create on this copy command, Or you can just type the shortcut CO for copy, and then it's asking you, select the objects that you want to copy. You want to make a left window. Remember, you want to, everything from the left to the right is whatever's inside completely in the window. So I make a window and I will select those 3 lines. Then a spacebar. It's asking me, now after you put spacebar, I will tell you, specify the base point. In my case, I want to use my base point as the midpoint, right there. Have a little triangle. And then I'm going to move it there, and I'm going to put it right on the other midpoint, just like that. Okay, we are done pretty much with this made up practice example. And it is time for me to actually get rid of these, let's call it these construction lines. How do I get rid of them? I want to say lay off. It's a turn off the layer. And I want to click on it, and I will turn it off. If for whatever reason I want to bring it on, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to click it in there. I could have also turned off the layer by just clicking on this light bulb or in this freezing. I want to click on the light bulb. Do you want to turn off the current layer off? Say yes. Actually, I want to not turn off the dimensions. I want to turn off the construction lines. There we go. So we are done with this. I just need to print it. If you guys recall in your assignment, say, hey, you got to print it to a half scale, and you want to print it to 8.5 by 11. So you go here to the A size, you double click, and it will get you into a box. In the box, you want to click the middle mouse button, and then you want to pan, right? Actually, no, but best is way to do it. You type, you might double click in the mouse. Let me see if it does it. Yes, double click in the mouse, and I will put it like center. Let me do it again. Double click in your middle mouse button, and we'll put it center. Then I'm going to get out. You notice that the boundary here, this is called a viewport. We might talk about it in the class. Maybe, may not. I don't know. I want to overwhelm you with so much stuff. If you go and you click outside, now you're in a different environment. You will see here, this is called a paper space. In fact, you will see it on the command line. It's a PS space. If I click on the model, it will go back to the model space. If I click on the A, it will take me back to the layout space. Sometimes they call it layout. Sometimes they call it paper space. So think about the paper space, the place that you make drawings. Okay. If I want to go and actually look into the model without me actually clicking on the model, I can click inside. And in fact, I can move stuff. I can draw if I want to draw something, make a circle. I can do all of this stuff. For now, I just want to print. So I'm going to double click in the middle mouse button. I'm going to get out. Just double click outside. I'm going to click on that window. And I am going to click on the little portion here that it has a bunch of numbers. This is where the scale looks like a scale. And then here they told me I have scales. I want to click 1 to 2. And it seems to me that I need to put my views slightly closer together. They're too far away. Maybe 5 units. Maybe I needed to do it a little bit less than 5 units. So I'm going to move the whole thing. Let's say maybe 1 unit. So it's the move. That's the command for moving. You can also type move. Select what you want to move. Spacebar. And then you go back by 1. And then you want to do something similar here. This way. Select the spacebar. Go to the left side. 1 unit. That should work if I go back. See? Pretty good. Once you guys are happy with the location of your part, you can lock it because you don't want it to move, right? So otherwise the zooming in and out will change. So the way you change it is by first clicking on the border, not the border, the green one. So let me go zoom in so I can actually select that one, the green one. And then you guys will notice on the bottom right hand side there's a little lock. So you click on the lock and it will lock it. Now, if I go inside and I try to change the scale or anything, it will not let me. It will completely lock that window. So I cannot make any changes in terms of zooming in, zooming out. Okay, so that guy was zoom. Actually, no, I told you double click and it will zoom it. And also if you click on the window and then click on the lock, it will lock it. Let's actually preview it. Control P for preview. I need to tell you how to obtain this file because you will not have it. I gave it to you. But I want to show you how to use it. So the way you submit this to me, you want to put DWG PDF. You want to put 8.5 by 11. This is the A size. You want to go and click on the layout. You want to click on window. You want to click on the top and the bottom. So actually select the size of the window. Just little snaps together 8.5 by 11 square. You are going to center this guy, and you need to make sure you have 1-to-1. You have HJDC CAD Lab. And let's take a look at the preview. how it looks. So as you guys will notice, I think I need to double check my snapping because of the corners. But if you guys will notice, you have thick and thin, just like I told you how to do them in by hand. And you can really see the difference, right? Thick and thin. That's how it should be. Thick and thin. Not thin and thin or thick and thick. Thick and thin. Okay. You get some smart water. If you don't have smart water, you should get yourself some. Right. Okay, so we are going to use the Engineering 2 CAD, which is not on the H drive, as I previously told you. We are going to use the half size, that means 1 to 2. Half of the size that I draw it is what's going to be here. And we need to do it on CAD, and still need to make my text 1/8 of an inch. Use the layers that are provided, and also make the sketch. And if you guys recall, last time we met, we finished our sketch. Okay, and again, you guys are going to be graded on the sketch, so you need to submit it as well. Don't forget. Let's start with the assignments. Let me minimize myself here. And if I recall correctly, last time we met, we created a folder for Engineering 2, and within it we have homework number 5, which is, seems to me I renamed the file. Let me see. Let me click on this. Let's see what's in there. Probably just empty file. Actually, it's just the no. It seems to me that I started with the boxes. You guys probably remember a little bit better than me, but it seems to me I did the boxes. So it's gonna be even. We're gonna finish even sooner. Okay, let's start. I think I created the box. Most likely, I created a layer for construction, and that's where I was left off. Okay, so let's start with a couple of visible lines. And the way I go and I do a visible line, which is the layer, I can go here to the properties tab, which remember is PR for properties, and I can change this guy to not the color, by the layer. I can change it to visible. How visible? Well, the object is the visible. Because you guys want to rename it, you can. And the way you rename it is by typing LA for layer. And we'll bring up the layer manager. And then you go to the one that you don't like the name. Click on it once, click on it twice, and change it to visible. Maybe visible makes more sense to you. Okay, so close this guy. Then let's start drawing. So it seems to me that it goes as full size for the box, and there is a one block offset here. So I'm gonna make a line L spacebar. It's gonna ask me where you want to start. I want to start here. Then I want to type the F8 to allow me to go straight. Then I'm gonna go to the endpoint. Then I'm gonna go move up 1 spacebar, and then I'm gonna go to the side. And I'm just gonna click somewhere here. And then I'm gonna type the spacebar again to repeat the line command. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go move up. I'm gonna go to the side 1 spacebar, and then I'm gonna move down. I'm going to look for a perpendicular, which is gonna give me a little simple perpendicular. I'm gonna click. I'm gonna skip. And now I need to trim this excess. I can grab it, and I can grab the grid, and I can move it to the side, and it snaps. Boom. You should have your dynamic input on if you don't have it on. If you don't have it on, remember that you can always access to the customization tab. Click on the check mark for dynamic input, and it will allow you to see what I see. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to do the side, which seems to me I have something, also the one in terms of height. I'm going to go to the side again, L for line. I'm going to come here, I'm going to come there. I'm going to go move up 2 units. I'm going to move 2 units down, 1 unit down. I want to get to the perpendicular, and then I'm going to go down, move. See, that's the beauty about having F8, because you just go straight and give the distance. The next thing that I want to do is I actually want to go to the top. In the top, I'm going to give the shape. So it seems to me like the shape for each of them is 1 by 1, and this one is 1 by 2. I'm going to go to the top. L spacebar. I'm going to click. I'm going to go to the side. Make sure I have F8 on. Click 1 spacebar. Click 1 spacebar. Click 1 spacebar, and then click to finish the command. I want to copy this square, and the way you do it is you type copy in the command line, or you can type CO for copy. And we'll do the same concept. Spacebar. It's asking me to select the objects that you want to copy. What I want to select is I want to make a left window. So I only select what's completely inside of the window. Spacebar. I'm going to click on the endpoint, and then I'm going to go click on the other endpoint. Boom. And I got both of my squares. I also have another one which seems to me is a 3x2. So I'm going to make one more line. I'm going to come here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the side 3. I'm going to move down 2. And then I'm going to go back. Boom. And then I'm going to make one more. I'm going to come over here. It is a 2x1. So 1 2. And then I'm going to go 1. And I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go wrap it up. Okay. I also have my whole perimeter. That is a visible line. So I am going to come over here and I'm going to make a rectangle. So I don't have to make line by line. Rectangle. It's asking me where do you want to start the rectangle. I want to start right here in the corner. Where do you want to finish it? Well, I want to finish it right here at the corner. Boom. Done. Okay. My top view, if you guys recall, had the circle, right? And that circle seems to me it is 1 unit from the midpoint. It is 1 inch diameter. So when I come over here, I'm going to make a line. Remove 1. And that's the location where my circle is going to start. So circle, you can type circle in the command line. I'm going to type circle, circle. I am going to then, it's asking me, specify the radius. I don't want the radius, I want the diameter. So I'm going to type D for diameter. I'm going to type spacebar. And it's going to change it to a diameter mode. And then at this point of time, I'm going to type 1, spacebar. Boom, done. Get rid of that line that I use. It's nice and clean. And we are done with this one. Okay. So let's see. Now the side view. If I were to look at the side, it seems to me this guy is a 2x2. In reality, it's more than a 2x2, but as the side view, what is visible is a 2x2. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to rectangle. I'm going to click in here. And I'm going to give the coordinate 2, 2 for width and height of 2 and 2. Boom. Done. I have one over here in the corner, which in this case, I'm going to do the same concept. I'm going to say rectangle. In this case, I'm going to hover to the top, and then I'm going to drag down till I see a bunch of little dots. And I'm going to continue all the way till I see a little X. That will denote the intersection. That will be the start of my rectangle. I'm going to click on it. Boom. And then I'm going to give it the size again. 1,1. Boom. Beautiful. Let's go back. Okay, now looking from the side view, it seems to me that I have a 3x1 rectangle here, another one on the back. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to go one more rectangle. I'm going to click in here, and then I got to give it the size. So width to height, 1,3. Boom. I want to copy that guy. I'm going to CO for copy, or copy, just that copy, CO shortcut, spacebar. Where you want to start? Well, I want to start right here at the end, and then I want to push it right here at the other end. Escape. Finish the command. You guys will notice that I have a portion that should be hidden, and it shows like visible. So the way I'm going to break the line, because right now it's a polyline, you can see it on the properties, single thing. I'm going to break the line. And what's the command for break? Just break. You can type, I think it's called BK for, no, BR for break. You select the line that you want to break, which in this case is that polyline. And then it's going to give you, specify the second point. Well, if you specify the second point, it will look at what time you click when you say the break. First time that I click, I select it there. But if you want to know what is exactly the starting point of your break, you have to type F for first point, just like in the command line says. And then I will allow you to select your first point. Boom. And then I will tell you, okay, where do you want to have the break? Let's say I want to have the break right there. Now, if you guys notice, it broke the line. Now it's an independent line. Come over here, right there. That is still the part of the polyline. You can see the whole thing got highlighted. I want to break it one more time. BR for break. Select my line. F for first point. And hover till you see U for undo. U for undo, or you tap undo. Again, try again. BR for breakpoint. I'm going to select that one. Select the object. Select the object. F for first point. Come over here on the first point. Second point will be the same thing, right? So if you want to break it. So it's independent. So the first and the second point are the same points, right? So I just want to separate the line. I'm going to select the lines that I have, and I'm going to change it now to hidden. And if you guys will notice, I don't know if you guys could see, but I cannot see nothing. Why? It's because my background is white. So I'm gonna have to go to my layers and change the color of the hidden so I can see them. You can leave them if you want because you will have a background that is black. In my case, I cannot see anything, so I gotta change my colors every time that I see hidden. I'm gonna change to red. And again, you guys could leave them as they are. Also, want to change my center lines to red so I can see them. The rest of it can stay that way. Let's go back. Right, so now you guys can see them. I'm gonna hold. Let's go back. Okay, remember I also got this rectangle, this square, which is a 2x2. So I'm gonna make sure the visible lines are active. I'm gonna make a 2x2, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go 2, enter, move to the side, click, and that's it, that's the visible line that I will see. I wanna change my layer to hidden, and I wanna make another line from here to bam, bam, bam. So you guys will notice I have that one, I have that one, I have that one. Okay, now if you guys recall, I also have my holes that I'm gonna take care of it, and I have a couple of hidden lines with the hole. So now let's take care of the hidden lines. Right, so and the hole too. So let's start by using my construction line. Let's have a construction line here. Actually, we don't need a construction line. We're not gonna use it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click on the hidden line, activate it with the L4 line. I'm gonna go over till I see the quadrant, and then I'm gonna move slightly down till I see a bunch of dots, and continue until I see that point. That point will be the apparent intersection. I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna go down all the way till I get to the bottom, and then I'm gonna type a spacebar to repeat this. Spacebar. I'm gonna come over here till I see the quadrant. I'm gonna hover down till I see a bunch of dots, and then I click on it when I see the intersection. I click once, and then I click twice. That will be my hidden line. All right. Now I want to grab those two hidden lines, and I want to put them right here on the rectangle. So I'm going to say CO for copy. I'm going to grab those two, spacebar. I'm going to grab that end, and I'm going to snap it to that other end. That will represent my hidden lines in my side view, which are these ones, right? Just to that. Okay. I also have a center line that I should take care of. I'm going to be changing my side to center line, so right there. And then I'm going to go make sure I have it activated. I'm going to make a line. I'm going to hover till I see the center of the quadrant. The center, that one is the quadrant. I'm going to hover over till I see about there. I'm not supposed to touch the part. The center lines are meant to start before the start of the part and pass the part. So I want to say about yay, skate bar. I will leave my center line. I'm going to copy the center line. I'm going to select this line, space bar. I'm going to click in that point, and then I'm going to click in here. Bam. Make sure I click on the endpoint. Skate bar. Whew. Now you guys will notice that you have a red and a purple line right in the middle. I want to change this hidden line, and I want to put it on the back, so I don't see that overlapping with each other. So I'm going to right click after I select it, draw order, send to back. Boom. And now you guys will see that the solid light will take over like it should. It's a sticker. Let's come over here. Let's see what else am I missing. I'm missing a hidden line here. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say hidden line, L4 line. I'm going to click over there. And I'm going to click over here. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the top, I don't have any hidden lines, but I have a center mark. And I'm going to look if I have a center mark, which it seems to me I don't. So I'm going to create one. Well, first of all, I got to save my one. Control S for save. The way I create a layer is LA for layer, spacebar. And then I'm going to go to this one that says like a sun, click on it. I'm going to call this guy center mark. Center, oops, rename it, click once, center mark. I want to keep it red. However, my hidden will not be hidden, it will be solid. My center mark should be solid. Now, how do I do a center mark? Center mark is the bullseye. Bullseye that you guys probably remember, look like this, right? So how do I do a bullseye? Well, first I need to go to dimension styles, which is D for dimension style. So you can type dim style. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click spacebar, and I want to create one new one, and I'm gonna call it dimensions. I'm gonna say continue, and let me. It's gonna take you to a menu that we gotta modify. So let's start from the lines. I'm controlling everything by the color. And since I'm controlling everything by the color, that's actually the layer. That's why you've noticed I've been creating a bunch of layers. So everything that you see by color, by block, you will have to change it to layer. So I'm gonna do that because I'm also gonna be calling out the whole. I want to make sure that this dimension, I'm gonna call out the whole, it's correct. So I'm gonna leave all the other sizes to default. I'm gonna go to the next one. Everything I will leave it to default, except the center mark should say line. Double check that because that's the one that's going to be the bullseye. If I don't click none, you guys will notice that it disappears. If I click on the line, it will give you the bullseye. Okay. You want to make sure you have it there. Next, text. The text I have it to Roman S. And I believe they told me that they wanted Roman S. Is that correct? Roman S. Yes. Roman S wanted. I want to keep it a Roman S, and if you don't have Roman S, you can click on these three double dots and create one new one. You can rename it however you want and make sure you have Roman S. The height should be set to 0. 0, guys. I don't explain this in this class because it's a little bit too advanced. But if you guys were to take it to 12, which I really recommend you guys do, you will have. Well, I will actually have a whole class about this. So right now, we're just going to put 0. And the color is going to be by layer. We don't have to fill up the contour of the text. The height should be equal to 0.1 to 5. Let me see if this going to change or not. I don't think it changed. Let me set it to current. Let's close that guy. And then make sure that I have Roman S. There we go, 0.1 to 5. We are going to leave everything else as default. The fit. This is where the scale factor comes about. See? Scale factor. Remember, I told you there is a half size. So if it were to be a quarter size, the value will be 0.25. If it were to be a 1/8 of a size, will be 0.1 to 5. If it were to be a full size, or 1 to 1, this guy get to be to 1, but they told me they wanted a factor of a half. So this factor, remember my scale is going to be a half, so this factor will be 0.5. My primary units are going to be decimal. I'm going to check my units. Do I have any call out? I don't have any call out. Sometimes I give you guys the notes. If not, I'm going to have to assume decimal places. Do I have a title block of some kind? No, I don't have it. So I'm going to have to assume it. I'm going to assume 3 decimal places. Make sure I keep it on decimal. We're going to leave everything else. We're doing inch drawings. The inch drawings are not supposed to have any leading zeros. Actually, we're going to start learning about dimensioning. You guys can learn all the rules. For now, just suppress the leading zeros. I don't want any zeros in the front of any. You guys want to give you a preview of what it is, right? Suppresses the leading zeros in all decimal dimensions. For example, 0.5000 becomes 0.5000. Let's go to the next one. The next one is alternate units. If you guys want to use inches and millimeters, I'm not using that. Tolerances. I don't want to have any tolerance. You guys notice that the end has like a little text. That's the tolerance. So I'm going to say none. I don't want to put anything. Beautiful. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to set a current. And I'm going to close it. Boom. Now I'm set up. I probably should save my works. I did a bunch of settings. Control S to save it. And now I got to put my center marks. And that's the reason why I created my center mark layer. So I'm going to come over here. And the command for center line is DCE. Beam center line. I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to click on the circle. Boom. And you guys will notice that it's actually like a bullseye. Not like some of you guys is drawing where you just make a point. It's a cross. There should be a little gap and the extension should be past the circle. Boom, boom, boom. I also want to call it out. Right? And the way I call it out is I am going to go and I need to go find the dimensions. You guys will notice the dimensions are yellow. And I don't want yellow because I cannot see. So I want to type layer. I want to look for the yellow. And I want to change it to red. Boom, boom, and close it again. Okay, now if you guys want to annotate, you guys will have to the annotate tab, and you have a pull down all the stuff that you can do. dimension linear features, like for example, from here to there, right? See, from here to there. I am going to actually, I messed up, guys. Where did you messed up? When I was creating my dimension style, and B for dimension style, if you guys don't remember, I went and I typed 0.2, 0.5 for the feet, 0.5 here. That one should be actually 2. Let me remember it. I don't think I explained this. If I were to say in my drawing 1, 2, 2, this is the paper, and this guy is the real life. That means that 1 inch on the paper is 2 inches in real life, right? So this guy is what we call it the scale factor. And the reason why we call it a scale factor, and that's why you will notice in your dimension style that they actually call it scale factor, scale, right there, overall scale, is because it allows you to call and transport an object that is in real life. I don't know. Let's say that my object measures 10 inches here, right? And I want to half it, so I will do half of it. It will look like half of the distance, right? So I want 10 inches, half it, put it in the drawing. It's half the scale, half the scale. So if you want to draw it to half the size, in reality, when you want to use a ruler, this guy will measure 5 inches, right? To half it. This is the half scale, right? You got the full size, which is the real, and this guy is the paper, right? 1 inch on the paper is 2 inches in real life. 5 inches on the paper is 10 inches in real life. The scale factor, what it does is say, whatever you measure on the paper, you can multiply it by the scale factor, which in this case is 2, you can see it right there, and it will get you back to real life. Right? So whatever I see on the paper, multiply it by the scale factor, will give me real life. What it actually is real life. You can see 5 times 2 is equal to 10. That's what it means. And when I was putting my scale factor, I think I typed 0.5. It should be actually my scale factor, which is 2. Boom. So the current close. Okay, now, as I previously said, you can make sure that you guys have activated your dimensions, which I'm going to do it right now. And then go to the annotate tab. It will have your dimensions style activated, which is the one that we created, the one that we type D for dimension style. And in here, you guys will notice that you have a bunch of ways of dimensioning. In my case, I'm just doing the diameter. So I gotta follow the hole. So I'm gonna click on it, hover till I see the edge of my hole, and then I move away. Move away. Let's click somewhere there. Click there. I'm gonna grab it. Grab the dot. It doesn't let me right there. You see? Not letting me move it. I don't know why. It's the computer problem. There we go. FH. It's probably the FH. No. It's kind of like it's not allowing me. I don't know. Let me delete it again. I wonder if it's my computer that it's lagging. Let me pause the video super quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like this, and then I'm going to find out why my computer is not letting me move my dimension. But for now, I'm going to give you a way of doing it, in case you don't want to wait for me. The command is mleader. Actually, no, mleader style. Leader style. The leader style allows you to create a text only. So I'm gonna leave the standard. I'm just gonna modify it. I need to make sure that it has the right thing. Everything by layer, right? Talk about everything by layer can be controlled by layer. Everything will stay the same. The landing, which is this little shoulder, should always be set to 1/8 of an inch. So I want to change it there. And remember, here is where my scale factor is. Remember, I told you it has to be 2 because I'm doing a half scale. My content, if you guys remember, we created one that we call a Romanesque. I'm gonna select it, and then my text would be 1/8 of an inch, and my column by the layer. Everything else should stay the same. I want to say okay. I want to say the current. I want to say close. Now I want to type mleader style to create the style, mleader to use the style. I'm going to hover and I'm going to type shift right click. I'm going to go to the nearest. I'm going to go so near to the edge. So you see a little clock. Then I'm going to move away from the center. And then I'm going to click move. And at this point of time, you guys will say, I think it's 1 inch, right? I'm going to type the diameter. Go here to the symbols, diameter. And then I'm going to type 1.0002. Boom. Like that. Okay. Now I don't like to use M leaders, right? That's what I gotta go check why it's not letting me. Because when you make a diameter, which I want to show you, the dimension should follow the center of the circle. I don't know if you guys probably don't see it, but if I want to come over here and I want to put the line, I'm gonna do right now. Center marks, extension line, text, force the line, this one. If you guys are going to put the line, you guys will notice that the whole call out goes towards the center of the bullseye, which is exactly what it should be. So when I make my dimension, it should go towards the center of the bullseye. Okay, and again, for now, I'm just going to get rid of the dimension and then I'll figure out why it's not letting me. Well, you know what? I think I know why. I'm going to put it here and then I want to see if I come over here, it allows me to do it. So you guys will notice that you have a red dot. The red dot allows you to move your text. So you can move with dimension line, you can move the text only, you can move above the dimension line, reset the text position. I want to say move with dimension line. That's what it was. You see it? Before it used to be automatic. I don't know why. But you guys learned something new, right? Which is M-leader style. Let me get rid of the M-leader style. You guys could leave it if you feel like you're learning. I'm gonna go, and also another thing that you guys will notice, that my bullseye disappeared. And the reason why the bullseye disappeared is because my dimension came up with a bullseye. So the way I get rid of the bullseye is go to lines and arrows, and when it says center mark, you change it to none. That way it only does the call out. Okay, and you will see the bullseye again. Okay. It's pretty good. I think we are done. Let's do one more save. Control S. I created my construction lines, which I don't like. I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm gonna go over here to the home tab, and then I'm gonna go to the construction lines and I'm gonna click on the do not show. That will disappear, the construction lines, and I think it's time for me to start printing. They told me to go to an A size, which is 8.5 by 11, which is already set up for you. I'm going to, you guys will notice that it has like a little green border. Let's see, it's a border right there. That one, right? And this is the Miles Morales Spider-Verse. The B size is only the world. You guys will know you can draw it crazy. But in order to be able to see the model, you gotta click inside of it. Okay? And then you can pan, you can zoom, you can do whatever you want. The first thing that I want to do is I want to extend the view so I only see my things everything nice and center. So I want to say Z spacebar, C for zoom, spacebar to activate it, E to extend the whatever I'm drawing. E spacebar. So C spacebar, E spacebar. Then I'm gonna click out all of the viewport until the box kind of like stop being highlighted. I'm gonna highlight it one more time. I'm gonna go to the bottom side where it has a number, set adjusting the scale, and I'm gonna change it to 1 to 2, which is half scale. It will adjust automatically. I'm gonna skip a couple of times, and you guys will notice that I have my text, my dimensions, my hidden lines, everything nice and activated. Now, remember I told you guys, these are two worlds, the world of the paper space and the world of the model space, right? World 1, world 2, you can create multiple worlds, just like in the Spider-Verse. And this little window that you guys see there, that is already in your template, that is the window that is open, the window to the Spider-Verse, you can see inside of it. I don't want my window to change sizes, I want it to lock, so I can always have zoom in to half an inch, and the way you do it is select it, right click, and you should say display lock, and you say, want to lock it, but it doesn't zoom in and out. You do not work inside of the viewport while you are in the paper size, the thing that is closed, you don't know what world are you on. So you make final adjustments, but do not work on it. I can go inside now that I have locked it, and I can take away the grid. And I also noticed that I have a line type scale that maybe I want to change it a little bit. So I want to change the LTS, and I want to change it to 2. So we'll change the spacing maybe a little bit better. Maybe LTS 1. There we go. Change it to LTS 1. Yep, looks pretty good. I'm going to move away. And at this point of time, you can type your text, your information. If I click on it, you guys will notice that it doesn't let you do it. What doesn't let you do it? Because it's a block. So I gotta explode this guy. And then you guys have a recording of that. I know I went over way too many things that you guys can take your time and actually do it. The way you start texting, you can create a text box. So the easy way is just explode the box, select it, explode, and at this point of time, it will allow you to write. Right? So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna write. Professor Calona, you're gonna click sheet 101, assignment, I think is homework number 5. You're gonna put the title of the assignment, which is, I believe, I don't know, homework number 5. I don't think I gave you a title. You're gonna put the scale, which is half a scale, 1 to 2, and you're gonna put the date. Once you are completely done to print, you wanna preview it. You're gonna print it. The way you print is Control P. Continue. Say okay. You're gonna submit this to me PDF, so you're gonna go DWG PDF. You're gonna look for ANSI full bleed 8.5 by 11. You're gonna change this guy to window. You're gonna select the corners, click, and click. You're gonna center the plot. You're gonna keep it at 1 to 1, right? Because the paper is 1 to 1. What is zoom in and out is the window, the one the green one box that I told you with. This guy always 1 to 1 if you're on the paper space. And then you gotta have the HGDC CAD lab, which I want to show you. If you don't have it, you have to work from home. But if you don't have it, you come over here. How do you access this? For now, let's just take a look at it, how it looks. When you submit it to me, it needs to be just like this. Remember, I told you guys thick and thin. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay, thick and thin. The bullseye, all your information. Once you are done, you're gonna click on plot. Make sure it's black and white, no color. And then you're gonna save it in your folder, which in my case, I believe my folder was engineering 2, number 5, and bam. It's gonna create a PDF, and eventually it will open up. When you submit the work to me, I want you to submit the CAD file, which is the one that we're working on. We'll save it. And you also get to submit the PDF. Now, you guys will notice that I have my text, that is my text and my lines that were black and white. The way you ensure that they're black and white is by using this file right here. Right? Where do you have this file? When you have it in your templates. If you don't remember how I got in this, watch the previous lecture. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna copy it, and the way I put it in my computer, if I don't have it, I'm gonna type in the command line, the styles command line. You can type styles, it will also open up. And then the command line, then you paste it, right? Okay, paste it. Then you will have it activated. At this point of time, you should be able to see just your HGDC CAD lab. And you select it, right? How do you select it? Control P, and for now, just keep this one like that, and make sure you select it, right? HGDC CAD. Boom, boom, boom. And if again, remember that you always gotta verify that everything is black and white. And I believe we finished the homework number 5, which I believe is due next week, if I recall correctly. Number 5 is due next week on Wednesday. You guys have about a week complete. It's not that bad. We learned a lot today. Okay, let me stop my recording. We most likely